chosen ones. Hey. So I want to talk about Exodus 34:7. How it talks about how God can hold the consequences of the sins from our parents and grandparents and the generations before us. So what I mean by that is like this, the consequences will be on your children and your children's children, so your grandkids. So whatever they talk about, the consequences that the third and fourth generations, I feel like we are in the third and fourth generations. That's why you're seeing so many people dropping dead like randomly, because people do not believe that God is the only way, and they don't have God at the center of their union with their families. And the sins that our parents, grandparents have done, this generation, third and fourth generations, are dealing with the consequences. Okay? Because it's karmic cycles that are repeating itself. And the third and the fourth generation are, somebody has to awaken that up and, make a change in that family dynamic. So if you got a family, a bunch of alcoholics, drug addicts, pedophiles, pedophilia, rapists, like men that, rape young women, boys, whatever those dark, nasty, disgusting things that are in your family line, their children are going to suffer. Okay, their grandkids are going to suffer the consequences until somebody is born into the family that makes those changes, okay, and acts accordingly. That's why the chosen ones are born. Because you really don't, there aren't really, used from what I've seen, there's usually just one chosen one in a family dynamic. It depends. I'm not saying that like I can only speak for myself. When I talk to you guys, it's only that it's because I only speak about my experience. I don't like to speak on things that I don't really know. So I like to have confirmation and concrete evidence. So for me and my family, I am the only chosen one in my family. I have not come, you can sense it when somebody has the same spirit and soul as yours. And I'm not saying everybody in my family is bad, but I don't feel like anybody I've met is chosen. They're called maybe, but they're not chosen. So there's usually just like one, because it's only like 144,000 chosen ones in this world. So it's not really much considered to the population that's in the whole world. So there's only a selective few of us that get born into these families. And because of the sins from our grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents, mothers, and whatever their fathers or whoever has been, doing sinful shit, and they don't have God in their life. And then the chosen ones are born to break those generational, those generational curses. And what I mean by that is like, it's karmic cycles, repeated cycles. Like that generation was doing whatever they were doing, and then the next generation that's born is taking on those same behaviors. Okay, narcissistic personalities, narcissistic behaviors. There are a lot of parents that triangulate their kids. Okay, if you have aunts and uncles where you see how they've done that in their family against the other cousins. Okay, like first cousins, second cousins, third cousins. 9 times out of 10, children are not acting that way against other kids naturally. It's because there's a toxic person in the family, usually the matriarch or the elder, or it comes from a feminine energy, but it can also come from a masculine energy too. But it's whoever is like broken, you know what I'm saying, that they didn't do the healing work. So what they do is they repeat the cycles because they're not making changes. So that's where the karmic cycles are just cycles that are repeated. You're going through karma. So the karma repeats itself. The history repeats itself. And then I feel like now in these times, a lot of people are just dying. Like, look at the people where are just dropping dead, like from drug overdoses, fentanyl, stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I lost a sister from that, so because of my effed up family dynamic. And I always knew, like, the things I witnessed in my family were not right, and I try to do everything in my power to kind of help people, but I'm here to tell you that you can't help everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're here to shed the light, and God put you here to shine the light, but people have to choose the light. Everybody don't choose the light. You know what I'm saying? And you know, dipping into drugs and alcohol is not helping you. You know, you need to be sober minded, and you need to be vigilant, because that's when the devil can sneak up on your ass and take your ass out without you even realizing it. And we're living in times now where we can't make those mistakes. We gotta, like, what we're seeing going on with the other person, God has some of us still here to watch and see, like, so we can learn and make the changes that we need to make changes on, because we don't want to repeat those cycles with the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you was going, like, some of you guys have family members that have been incarcerated a lot. Some of you guys have family members that are murderers. You know what I'm saying? Everything is in energy, okay? We're energy in a meat suit, okay? In an avatar. This is my avatar, but this isn't really who I am. I'm an energy, okay? So I'm sending that energy to you, enlightening you on these circumstances in the family dynamic, because God is the only way. You can't go no other way. All these other ways, like, oh, let me go drink, let me go get high, let me, go and do something I shouldn't be doing, that's outside of God. You know what I'm saying? And these repeated cycles have been happening so long that, it's, God gets to a point where you see, like, all this stuff that's going on in LA, in Florida, Miami, across seas, all over the world, the fire, the water, all these are revelations in the Bible. And I know some people don't like to listen to the Bible, but there are a lot of truths in there, and mixed with a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying? And you have to navigate that, and that's how you get close to God. The relationship with God is like, you can read the words, but you gotta understand it. You gotta understand it. Okay? So when you understand what you're reading, you're gonna be able to decipher and discern whether what's being said is not right versus what this. Because we have the answers in us. It's just that we gotta waken that shit up. You know what I'm trying to say? And stop looking outward. We all came in this world on our own, and so to speak. We're all individually our own person for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And we're all catalysts to one another. But it's like, you can't always look outward to get your answers, because that person's answers may be different than yours. You have to have that personal relationship with God. That's why, because you are God. God, I am God. Okay? So, you know what I mean? And it's like, when you say God, it means it's your higher self. So some people I used to kind of be like, oh, when people say I'm God, and I would be like, what do you mean? But that's what they taught us, blocking us. Like, the devil is the author of confusion. So we would be like, wait, you're just going off what someone else is telling you because it sounds right. But when you start doing your own research and your inner research, you start to understand things. You start to crack open the codes, and you learn these things, and you get higher and higher. Like I said, there's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? And working on yourself, learning how to be in solitude is a primary key to getting there. If you can spend some time to yourself, meditation, where you're blocking out all the confusion and all the noise, and listening to what God speak to you, you can break these codes. And discipline, doing everything you need to do to get you in a healthy state of mind, mentally, physically, and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like, be careful what you eat, be careful what you watch, be careful what you listen to, and God is the only way. These generational curses, chosen ones are born to break them, and sometimes that has to do with us breaking away from that family that doesn't want to come with you. You know what I'm trying to say? You could bring the horse to the well, but you can't make the horse drink the water in the well. Because when we enable them, and then they get mad at us when their results are not what they want. So it's like, lead by example. God bless.